Okay. Um, Great. Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm one of the MDs on our TLD team in Baltimore, and we've spent the last year doing some values-based leadership development in our region, and I'm super excited to have this site and for this site to be a resource for other regions who are starting to explore values-based leadership development. If you are new to values-based leadership development, first of all, thanks for even clicking on this link. You obviously are really interested in thinking about it in a really thoughtful way, rather than just diving in to start looking at the ingredients, which is really exciting. If I were new to this site, I would really carve out some time, a chunk of time in either the morning or the afternoon, and just kind of go offline, except for this site, of course, and really allow yourself just some time to start getting to know the site, with heavy emphasis on the homepage, really understanding the whys of why the site was created and why this approach is the approach that we suggest for starting a values-based leadership development program in your region. Those pieces of wisdom are just hard-earned from folks in regions who have spent a lot of time trying to develop VBLD in their regions, and it's just critical information that's going to enable you to really have the best chance of having a strong program around values-based leadership development. I also would say that I know it's tempting to dive right into the recipes and ingredients page, and I spent some time navigating them in the testing of this site, and the next thing I knew, I'd spent 30 minutes watching like 3 different TED Talks, and I felt really inspired, but also totally all over the place. And if we want to take the cooking analogy one step further, it would be kind of like me just going to the grocery store and falling in love with, these really ripe looking mangoes and grabbing some cans of beans, but then at the end of the day I've got mangoes and beans, and what the heck am I doing with mangoes and beans? That actually sounds kind of gross. So really being able to understand the bigger picture of what it is you're trying to create before you start diving into individual sessions or readings or TED Talks. So that's one thing. And then I would also just suggest spending a bulk of time exploring and internalizing the 4 questions page, the 4 ingredients, and also the cooking tips, because again, we have some experienced chefs in different regions who have really some hard-earned and hard-learned tips for you, and it's just so helpful to create the frame for you to then tackle some of these recipes. And then I would just spend some time on the menus page, mindful of the fact that before you sort of delve in and get lost in multiple pages of a scope and sequence, you're really allowing yourself to think about like, what is this menu or this specific scope and sequence telling me about the larger arc of those 4 questions, and how each piece builds on each other, rather than just looking at the discrete activities and sessions within that larger scope and sequence. But I think it's going to be a delicious recipe for you, and I am really excited for you to have an opportunity to harness all the resources in this site. So go forth, enjoy, and happy exploring. Thanks.